Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing an adjustable triangle bikini top. As usual, the pattern is available, so just see the link in the description if you're interested. So materials, I have fabric, elastic, a pattern, and then your normal sewing supplies. So the first step is you're going to take your pattern, and I only have one piece for the pattern because if you just flip it over, you'll get the left boob and the right boob. So you're going to cut out 4 pieces of the pattern. So if you're using if you're going to do like a reversible one and you want to use 2 different fabrics, just make sure that you cut out 2 left boobs and 2 right boobs. Because if you don't, then that's kind of obvious. The fit will be way off, so just make sure you do that. And I link all the materials I use in the description since I didn't know a lot of these tools existed before. So next I'm going to cut my straps. I did 2 inches by 16 inches and then I'm going to cut that 16 inch in half. And then this one's for a band. I'd recommend doing 4 inches by 60 if you can make it to 60 with your fabric. As you can see, I'm adjusting the fabric as I go. So these are all our pieces, and I'm actually going to go back and take that rib piece, we'll call it, and I'm going to cut that in half, and it'll make the sewing a little bit easier, but we'll get into that. So we have 2 boob pieces, a rib piece, and a shoulder piece. That's what we'll call them from now on. So now I'm going to take my long 60-inch rib piece, and I'm going to cut it in half. You could have just done 2-inch strips in the beginning, but cutting a continuous 60-inch thing out of fabric can be tough. So now that we have the 2 pieces, I'm going to mark the piece, the halfway point, which should be 30 inches in. And I'm going to do that on both. So we're basically just going to mimic what I'm doing on both of these pieces. So put it right sides together. As you can see, and you're going to pin them where the middle is. So you're going to pin the 2 front pieces first and then the piece closer to your shoulder. So you'll see there, I pinned the first there first and then the shoulder piece there. And if you want, since it's curved, you're actually going to end up stretching it a little bit while you sew. So while you're pinning it, you can even give a little more rib piece for each boob piece. So now I'm going to put it in my serger. If you don't have a serger, use a zigzag stitch on a sewing machine. And I'm just going to serge each piece. So I'm doing this twice since I have 2 pieces. And again, while you're sewing, you're going to want to stretch your boob piece, not your rib piece. And then stretching the boob piece will give it that nice kind of rounded, almost underwire look. If you don't want that look, then when you're cutting your top pieces, just cut it flat instead of curved. So this is what it looks like. So there's one and then there's the other. I'm going to match these up right sides together. And now we're going to sew the rest of the boob pieces. And we're also going to be working on our straps. So take your 2 straps, fold them in half, sew, and then sew on some elastic there. And I'll show you how to do that more. So to do the boob pieces, I'm starting with the shoulder side of things. So I'm going to do that on each side. Just trying to match all the sides up. So now I'm doing the other shoulder side. As you can see, the middle is still open. And then we're going to move on to the middle. This is just so that it's all even. And as you get to that piece where the 2 boob pieces meet, you might have to go over that a few times. I know I struggled with it, but a good tip is to just stretch it as much as you can. And then just go over it twice if you have to. So for the straps, I'm just serging them in half, and then I'm going to throw on some elastic as well. And I've kind of changed my technique with the elastic a little bit. Since I'm working with light fabrics, I want to make the elastic as loose as possible. So sometimes I'll even feed in a little extra elastic as I'm going, because what happens is if you stretch the fabric, then the elastic will bunch up and then your strap will be all bunched up. So you definitely want to avoid that. So now I have all my pieces. I'm going to flip my straps inside out. This time I used a strap turner that I got on Amazon, so I'll link that. But usually I've been using a safety pin they're called, and that works just as well. So this is what it looks like now. I ended up going back and trimming the edges later, but feed your straps in. We've done this in other videos before, just make sure it's just barely sticking out. I did end up going back and shortening my straps, so you'll see in the sewing video actually cut a little bit of the straps off. So maybe make your straps shorter, longer, whatever your body type is like. So just sew on the top edges there. So going over one strap, and now doing the other. Cool. So I'm gonna put some elastic on this. It's a good way to make it more high quality. So put it on those two pieces and serge on top. And same thing, you're gonna want to just slightly feed your elastic and try not to let the fabric stretch too much. So I'm doing this on both sides, and I use elastic, I believe it's called Full Flex elastic. I got it in LA, but I can see if I can find some online and link it because it is perfect for swimwear. So now we're going to turn it inside out. This is what it looks like. And we're going to complete our straps before moving on. So pin the straps where you want them to be. For this top, I would actually recommend putting the straps maybe 3 to 4 inches from the edge of the boob piece. So just do that on both sides. And you're going to kind of flip it, as you can see, and then just sew along there. Since it's almost seamless, you need to like do a bunch of flippy stuff and kind of like French seams. So it makes it more seamless. So I'm just doing that. Making sure my straps are in, and that's, you see, there's a little piece of strap out there that I ended up cutting to make it a little shorter. Okay. So now your straps are in, and they look great. So the final thing we're going to do is flip it completely inside out and sew that last seam that's open. Now you need to make sure it is inside out, otherwise it won't be seamless. You'll have some weird stuff going on. So I pinned in the middle and on the sides just to make sure that as I'm sewing, everything's lined up, because you might be stretching the bottom more than the top, or a bunch of stuff can go wrong. So pinning is also always a good way to go. So now I'm serging this. I believe in regular sewing, this is called the like sausage method. If you look up like how to make a pillow sausage method, it'll show you basically this. And the secret is that I left one of those sides open. So now, with the open side, I'm going to feed it all through. And this is the nice thing about having woolly nylon thread, is that I'm really just stretching it to its limits, but it stays. It does so well. So if you're looking for thread, definitely do woolly nylon. I believe I have that linked in my materials below. Alrighty, so that's what it looks like. You're just gonna have to finish off that last open side. So to do this, I just curled it in and then top stitched. You could also just do a little hand stitch, blanket stitch, so that it's completely seamless. And again, that would make it reversible. And here we are. Yay! I love this top. It's definitely one of my go-tos. I think it's just so flattering and really good for any body type. Yeah, if you guys are interested in the pattern, just let me know. It is, or no, don't let me know. It's in the description, so you guys can do that. But yes, this top is actually based off the Arlo top from The Brightest Color, my swimwear company. So if you don't want to make the top, you want to see the top, go ahead. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.